What's up, everyone? It's a knife style here, and today I'm going to be doing my sharpening on my Sabenza 21 with natural micarta inlays. I wanted to get this on video because I figured I'm sharpening my Sabenza, so I'd like you guys to see it. And excuse the pajamas, it's like 10 in the morning, so I didn't really feel like putting on clothes for this. I think that I'm going to tape off this blade really quick, so I will be right back. Alright, so I got this blade taped off, and what I did is this tape isn't very, it's not very neatly placed, but I put it right here so I don't accidentally hit it on my stone, and I put it over the thumb stud so that it doesn't accidentally scratch it. So let me get out my 320 grit diamond stone, and so it's kind of funny that I'm sharpening my $550 knife on a $50 system, but honestly, this work sharp system can handle pretty much everything, in my opinion. I'm actually gonna get a little piece of tape again and put it right here, if you guys can see that. And the reason I'm sharpening this, it's not that it's really that dull. I'll get a quick paper test for you guys right here. It's not that it's really dull, it's that it's just the factory edge. Now, Chris Reeve does a great job with their factory edges. They actually water grind them, or yeah, I think that's what it's called. Basically, they use water when grinding the knife to prevent a overheated edge, which if you guys have been watching my channel, you know that I've had some experience with that with like my Spyderco Sage, my Gale Bradley. So let me dull this really quick. Kind of hurt my soul, but now let's get sharpening. Check this edge. I can already tell this Insingo blade is going to be an absolute dream to sharpen. So just checking this edge, it looks like I'm not hitting it towards that tip, but I am towards this belly and not at the very base. So checking this edge one more time, I'm hitting it a little bit better at that tip. Still need to do a little bit more work at that base. So if you're looking at that, I still don't really know if you guys can see this, but it looks like I am hitting that base, or just I need to hit it a little bit more. I'm kind of hitting right above that bevel, so I might slightly draw my angle. Kind of moving my stone when I'm doing that. But let me just get some sweeps in here, try and really hit that. Yes, so I am hitting it, and without even really trying all that hard, I formed a burr across the entire edge of that knife. So let's switch to this side here. So I look to be a little bit higher on that bevel. Actually, I might be right where I should be, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to do some more strokes. Once again, I'm not hitting this base. So we have formed a burr on the other side. I still am struggling with that base. I think it's because this in single blade shape, it's got this kind of a sweep here. And so it's usually, I'm used to like a drop point where it's belly and then flat. And so the flat's really easy for me to hit, and I'm focusing on that belly, and I should be focusing on this base just a little bit more. So I'm going to try it again. So now I'm gonna knock off this burr. It's almost like my hand's doing a little bit of a rocking motion on this, which is just a little bit different, but ooh, my hand was all shaky there for some reason. So Chris Reeves are one of those knives that they're the most expensive knives I own, so I always am a little worried to sharpen them. But truthfully, they are just pretty much built to sharpen. And sometimes I feel like with designs nowadays, it seems like the people creating them have never sharpened a knife in their life, which I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, with the Chris Reeve knife, it's got a good finger choil, the thumb stud's not in the way, very simple blade shape, usually the grinds are pretty much even. And off that 320 grit stone, we have a great edge. And a lot of people wouldn't even test that off there, and there still is the possibility that there is a burr on that. So I'm really happy with that edge off the stone. Now for my fine 600 grit stone. All right, let's get sharpening. I'm actually gonna do something, and you know, I don't do it that much, but I'm really trying to pay attention a lot on this knife. I'm going to Sharpie the bevel again, and this is one thing that I would suggest if you are a new person to sharpening, to Sharpie the bevel twice, and for some reason on this side, I cannot hold my Sharpie still. Look at that. You'd think if I could get as good of an edge as I do freehand, I could write Sharpie on a knife. But yeah, that's kind of a weird flex, but okay. So let's start on this other side. One thing I've noticed with sharpening that really helps is kind of like bending your knees and rocking with your body more than you're rocking with your arms. Sound like some sort of like basketball coach right now, but it still does really help to have like a steady, stable base. That scratch pattern looks so good. I just think that these toothy, like 600 grit scratch patterns just look so nice. My hand slipped off there. If that ever happens to you, don't worry about this hand. Just worry about the knife, because you don't want to slip off and then go like that. So if you saw me there, I slipped off and just continued with my right hand. Just think of your left hand as almost an accessory to your right, not just as important to your right. So it looks like I should hit that tip just a little bit better. And if you are sharpening your Sabenza on a fixed angle system, I think that they come 18 or 19 degrees from the factory. And so I am holding usually a higher angle than normal, but I feel like it kind of fits the Sabenza well. This might be off your screen a little bit. Sorry about that. So yeah, on those strokes, you really saw me lean into that blade. I feel like that helps. Try and do that using as little pressure as possible, because sometimes it just happens. You accidentally use a little bit more pressure than you should. And right now I am deburring, so basically use very light pressure. All right, so let's get an edge check really quick right off that 600 grit. Very, very good edge, and I'm actually stropping a little bit different than normal, and it's actually kind of working for me. And I'll show you guys my process here. Sorry for bumping that camera. But so what I do, I put my Knives Plus strop block on this rag here, and there's not much grip to this at all, but just because this rag isn't wet, I don't want to get the piece of wood wet that the strop is sitting on. But what that makes me do is use extremely light pressure. Look at this right now. So I get to use two hands too. And I was just stropping, holding it in one hand and then stropping with my other, which works fine, but I feel like this version just makes me use very light pressure because this leather on the Knives Plus strop block is very soft leather. And so if you use too hard of pressure, you could roll your edge. But there are also downsides to this, like you just saw me bump that with my hand and just move it. Now the good thing is this is strop, so the mistakes you make can be very bad, but as long as it's not like holding way too high of an angle, you're not going to damage your knife too bad by like maybe scratching up the grind or the flat or the thumb stud. So I really am not sure how many strokes I did on each side, but let's get this very flimsy piece of paper out here, and oh yes, that is a very nice and sharp edge. And I thought about maybe bringing it to my Spyderco ceramic stone here, but I'm truthfully happy with this 600 grit. I feel like S35BN, the steel, it's not the best with really toothy, not the best with really polished. I just think it's good in the middle. Now those are just from my experiences and my way of use. But if you might be like, oh no, look at that Sharpie on the Sabenza. Hopefully this doesn't blow up in my face. But if you take one of these alcohol prep pads here, you get it. Just wipes right off the knife and also cleans it if you have some rust that you just noticed on there. Then what I do, grab a towel here, dry it off, and that is it for our sharpening. We are pretty much done. I might take this tape off just to get back to my regular knife here. All right, there we go. Here's the paper, and let's do our final cut. So we could do a little bit of an S cut there. Let me try this vertical cut. Yes, that is a very good edge. And there's tape on that paper. One more cut test for the road and then we'll be done. And then let me hold the knife very lightly here and just kind of. Yes, that edge is very nice and very good. And I am happy with it. I'll do one hair shaving test here. I have shaved way too much hair off my arms. Yes, we are shaving. And let me, you know, I might just strop it a little bit more just because I'm bored. Try my old stropping methods. It's a little bit of a fast drop. Check the edge. Yeah, that is a very sharp edge and I'm happy with it. So if you've stayed tuned to the end, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, so I want to let you guys see a quick shot of my scratch pattern here. So I felt like the best place to get lighting was outside. There is that bottom there where I was having difficulty removing all that Sharpie. I just noticed that after it was very faint, so I couldn't see it. My newspaper just dropped. Oh, nope, there's my phone falling. High quality production on the It's a Knife Style channel right here. But there is the other side. Hope that's coming up good. Let me grab this paper and do one more edge test. The wind isn't helping me. But one reason I'm excited about S45VN is that it will sharpen up probably better than S35VN. So not that S35VN is bad, us sharpening nerds like to get a very keen and crisp edge as something we would on something like M4 or just any other tool steel. So that's gonna do it for the video. I already said the whole thing, but thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.